What's up, y'all? It's your girl Phree. I was supposed to touch on something last week and I didn't get to it, and I had a couple people in my inbox asking about where you at. So here's my take on child support and a couple of issues dealing with that. Now let's talk about the people who should be on child support and the people who shouldn't be on child support. The men who shouldn't be on child support are the men who are wanting and seeking to be an active parent in their child's life. If he is wanting to be in his child's life, then I don't understand why is he on child support when I feel the presence of a father is priceless in a child's life. So if you have a man who wants a hand in the upbringing of his children or child, then why are you putting him on child support? Why are you making life difficult? Why are you creating this friction in the relationship? Because when y'all were together, you didn't put him on child support. So what's the difference now that y'all broke up? Because he's still there and he's still assisting in finances. Why is he on child support? He doesn't deserve that. Any man who is wanting to be in his child's life, who is in his child's life, doesn't deserve to be on child support. Now, if you have unfortunately laid down with a person who doesn't want to assume his responsibilities, and I already know people are going to be like, well, what if he didn't want to have the kid? What if he wanted her to get an abortion or whatever? Guess what? No fucks given. I feel no sympathy for y'all because we know the risks that are being assumed when you lay down with somebody. You are putting yourself at risk for STDs. You're putting yourself at risk for unplanned pregnancy. And whether you wanted to have the child or not, you laid down and consented to the understanding. I don't care if she told you she was on birth control. Do you know how many chicks get pregnant off of birth control? So this is not a person whom you see is first worth the risk of an STD because people can say they're clean all day and they're not. Two, having a baby with this person. If I can't view you as a responsible human being to have a child with, we can't have sex. Period, point blank. Take responsibility for yourselves in these situations. Take responsibility. If you are with this type of person who doesn't want to accept their responsibilities, then by all means, go get your money. Because the least he can do is help in assisting with the finances of raising a child if he chooses not to be present in their life. Second part of this child support, it was talking about what are the do's and don'ts when you're getting child support. If you are doing anything that has to do with your own personal wants, then you shouldn't be using your child support for that. Like buying weave, buying liquor, spending money on another dude that you messing with, buying your own clothes and shoes, anything that does not have to do with your children. If your children aren't a factor into why you're spending this money, then you should not be spending that money. Period, point blank. Child support is designed in the financial assistance of raising a child. That's why it is called child support. Not us support, not baby mama support, child support. If you are wanting to move to a better neighborhood so your kids can get a better education, then I can understand you using that child support to help pay your rent. If your car breaks down and it's your only means of transportation for you and your kids, I can understand you using the child support to help get your car fixed. Groceries, and of course, anything that has to directly do with the upbringing of your child. Clothes, shoes, getting your baby's hair done, or groceries, or, a bed, things that have to do with your children. Anything outside of that, that's your own personal. And you have to get that on your own. Worry about how you're going to do that on your own, because if you didn't have kids, then how would you do it? Exactly. Support yourself and use the child support for the assistance in the upbringing of your children. I know about 50% of cases of child support have to do with her being bitter. She's upset, she's mad about the breakup or you cheating on her or whatever personal reasons for her being mad. If he has not caused any pain or hurt directly to your children, if he's not abusing or beating them, then your reasons for what you're doing is straight bitter. Leave these men to be what they need to be. Fathers. They need to be in their children's lives. And if you're doing anything to prevent that, you are creating a hindrance for your child. Most people who are incarcerated come from fatherless homes. Most kids who drop out from school come from fatherless homes. Most kids not performing well in school come from fatherless homes. So the odds are already against your child here. You're creating an even higher percentage of a disadvantage because you're not allowing them to have a relationship with their father. And at the end of the day, you're going to have to answer to this. Because a kid is going to want to know why dad isn't around. And what did you have to do with why dad's not around? You're only going to get so many years where they're not going to be able to understand or comprehend or ask questions. But believe me, that day is going to come and you are going to have to answer. And are you going to be proud of the answers that you're going to give your kids? Because a lot of y'all ain't got no good reason for doing what you do other than just being hurt. And that's really not a good excuse for a child who spent their whole life wanting to have a relationship with their dad and they couldn't have one because of you. So let's do better, ladies.